Thank you and welcome back to this final segment of our show. The topic again is the 5th annual Martin Luther King federal holiday celebration. And we're talking to Ms. VLewis and Ms. KLinebaugh, both of various organizations who will participate in this 5th annual celebration. Ms. Lewis, before we had our break, we were talking about the impact or the possible impact that the publication of And the Walls Came Tumbling Down, the autobiography of Rap David Abernathy, could possibly have on the celebration of this 5th annual holiday. Again, do you feel that it will have any kind of impact whatsoever?
I feel like it will, and I feel like that impact will be real positive. In talking to people and dealing with other organizations, I hear people say constantly, I've never marched before, I've never been involved before, but I'm going to this time for the simple fact that look at the greatness of this man, Dr. Martin Luther King. Look what he did for mankind, and for someone to try to denounce or deter or change what people think of him. I think that across the country people will come out in numbers. I think it's going to have a great impact on the 5th celebration across this country, and specifically I know it will here in the city. We've worked harder because of the book. We've organized stronger and prayed a lot because of the book, and we'll see January 15th that people will come out.
Very good. Ms. Linebaugh, some of your comments in reference to the publication of those various articles in the newspaper dealing with excerpts from Abernathy's And the Walls Came Tumbling Down.
Well, I think that Dr. King's life, he set such an example for us for peace and nonviolence, but to learn to appreciate each other, and for us to be able to learn to live together is our unfinished task, and it was his unfinished task. And I really have not paid that much attention to the negative things people have said, because I have read so many positive things, and I think they outweigh the negative.
Very good. We've got about 4 or 5 minutes, Ms. Lewis, that we'd like to deal again with the various coalitions that are part of Save the Children coalition. I mean the various organizations that are part of the Save the Children coalition. Again, what do you hope to achieve through this coalition, and how far are you on the road to achieving that goal at this particular point?
Well, as I first stated, we've demonstrated 3 or 4 marches here in the city, and November the 4th, our last one, we went from like a little under 200 to around 431 participants, our marshal count from that march, and we got so much participation from businesses that just called and said, look, I'll make you some signs. Parents calling and saying, thank God. That is the dream, to, you know, getting students from Vandy and Fish, young students that's saying, we want to help make a change. And over the years, when drugs started becoming prevalent, from talking to ministers and talking to businesses and calling press conferences and nobody show up. We have advanced so since that time. We've got the respects of organizations such as IMF and the participation of the Urban League, NAACP, those organizations whom we tried since the founding of Save the Children in '87, that just thought at one point that it was really not that important. And the drug issue, I'm on the educational board for the Chamber of Commerce. The #1 issue in schools in a survey that we had is drugs. National survey, drugs. Woman Days Journal, what's the concern of parents across this country? Drugs. And to tie that in with January 15th, we're, you know, even education, you can't educate a drug-high student. We must look at what Dr. King would do today with the issue, what he would do with the educational issue, the homeless issue, and, you know, putting that back into the book. No matter what the negatives are, the peaceful things that he stood for, we would have to look at those and assimilate those today and say, now what am I charged to do? And Save the Children Coalition is charged to not only be an anti-drug, just an anti-drug organization, but have an effective prevention in the war on drugs. Now, we will be doing an event in February, which I care not to discuss now because it's going to be going more direct and in tune to the drug problem, but we have to get involved. And January 15th, the bill starts. So that day, we want everybody to come out and participate in the march.
Ms. Linebaugh, over this last couple of minutes that we have here, are there any special functions or activities that the National Council is involved in that you would like for our people to be aware of now so that they can become not only a part of the Martin Luther King celebration, but also a part of your celebration?
Well, during February, we have a Brotherhood Sisterhood Week, which is sort of related to what Dr. King's philosophy. But our theme for this year is America's Future Comes in All Colors. And the week is February the 18th through the 24th. And the schools do an outstanding job of promoting our week, and they'll be doing that as well as some community activities. But what I would like to tell the audience is that we do give Brotherhood Sisterhood Awards to people during that time, and they're nominated by the community at large. And so if someone has a nomination and would like to make that known to us, they can call our office.
Very good. And let me thank both of you for coming by and giving us this information about this very, very important event. And I'm almost sure that the participation this year will be greater than it was last year. I think that we can personally attest to the fact that over the last 5 years, the celebration has grown considerably. And I would agree with you that this year's celebration will probably be one of the better celebrations. And again, let me encourage you to tune in again next week for another informative edition of Comments. And if you've got any kind of ideas or any discussions that you'd like to have us to comment upon, please drop us a line here at the station. Good night.
Join the fight. Help put criminals where they belong. Behind Bars with Crime Stoppers 800. Coming up next on ZTV.